Okay, I got to speak quickly because I don't have much storage. 2 minutes after Officer Pitt left with his driver and vehicle, I think 343 SUV, that way, I had to urinate urgently, more urgently than I ever have, and I couldn't hold it. It was a force. And I believe that Officer Pitt and/or his driver used an electromagnetic instrument to induce me to urinate on myself because I gave them trouble about shining that light in my face. And they saw me trying to record them as they were leaving. So Officer Pitt is related to one of the frivolous and fraudulent misdemeanor charges brought against me for breaking into my own apartment, of which I was apparently evicted from via fraud upon a court by my ex-roommate. And so I've experienced this type of harassment consistently on my job with three other NR police officers, in which I lost that job soon after. And there was another job I had before that I lost because of Ann Arbor police presence made conspicuous to me. And then soon after that incident. And now here, I'm experiencing this form of harassment. I've been poisoned with something. I don't know what it is, but this is one of the symptoms or experiences that I have, in addition to sustaining electromagnetic energy attacks upon my head and my body and my gut, intestine area, and my kidneys and stuff like that. So I know it sounds sci-fi and bizarre, but if you get on the internet and get on YouTube and look up Jewish gang stalking, or just look up gang stalking in general, or targeted individuals, you'll see testimonies of people all around the country going through the same exact thing. That's the thing about this. It's systematic and it's consistent, the circumstances. And so everyone who are considered or treated as targeted individuals seems to be going through generally the same type of attacks and experiencing the same type of sensitization of communication from the gang stalking perps and law enforcement, including other municipal officers, are also involved in it with the gang stalking community. So I don't want this for myself. I'm not psychotic. I don't have some fantasy to be a targeted individual. This is not attention-seeking behavior. This is me doing the only thing I can to defend myself and to try to discourage these criminal perps and law enforcement officers from doing this. So I'm going to go to the 15th District Court of Ann Arbor, Michigan tomorrow with the same urine-saturated clothes as evidence, and I'm going to make a report with his authority. And the best I can hope for is the paperwork of the investigation. I've hosted a complaint against another officer, Officer Simazar, who, at the end of, I think, November of 2016, did the same thing to me as I was riding my bike. Yes, on the wrong side of the road, but nonetheless, he got my attention by flashing his light, and that big light that they have on the side of the door in my face, blinding me while I was riding the bike. That's unlawful. There's no call for that. And Officer Pitt had no problem admitting to that. And because they're hacking my device, they knew that I didn't have enough storage available to record them right away, which allowed them to get away before I could record them. So, but those vehicles are monitored. And as you can see, there's cameras. There's two there. There's one right here. And there's another one right there. So, so there is footage of this that I can ask to be discovered as part of the investigation and/or civil lawsuit that I'll bring. So Why don't I move? Because it wouldn't be American to move, to run from this kind of harassment, and because I have legitimate circumstances that are probably worth a significant amount of damages in a civil court of law, they would love for me to just move, and they can wash their hands of all of their accountability of torture and community harassment that they've orchestrated and conducted against me directly. So no, I'm not moving. And, I've been kicked out of a place that I was staying at temporarily on the couch until better shelter came available. And on that day, I got hit by 2 vehicles at the same time. So all of these circumstances seem to be related. This is the way gang stalking works. It's law enforcement centered and directed to supporting neighborhood watch or family members or friends or whatever partners of the law enforcement officers to try to destroy someone's life, and social standing in the community, and to question their mental faculty to such an extent that it devalues any credibility that they could possibly have in making any type of claim. So that's another reason why I make these videos, because then whoever the authorities are that investigate these claims and incidences, they know that the public knows also of my ability to reaccount these circumstances and to present them in a rational and logical way, and to present supporting proof, as to not present with any delusions or characteristics of psychosis. And so that's why I make my life now very public. It's already public via my device, the way that they've hacked it in such a way that they can keep a constant video surveillance on me, as well as a screen surveillance of my conduct, including using the internet and my emails. So why not make these videos and have a bunch of videos of me being this victim that looks terrible, and taken advantage of and demasculated, and then have them all, all posted in the public so that all the world can see. So now for the rest of my life, at least my face and my name is going to be attached to these unfortunate circumstances that could also be seen or laughed about, as trivia or comedy to insensitive, unsupportive, sick human beings, So I know I shouldn't care about what that type of or quality of human being thinks, but still, nobody wants to be exposed to any type of pejorative or negative affect and or treatment and or what's the word? Public exposure, of a negative light and or content. Nobody wants that, right? So, but this is all I got. This is the only way I have to deal with this right now. So, I'm being 100% honest with you. I haven't exaggerated or added anything to any of this. It's up to you. I mean, I don't mean to influence your judgment. I just mean to present to you a circumstance. You can side with who you want to side with. You can reason how you want to reason. Ultimately, it doesn't matter because you're not the judge or the authority that I'm going to bring the matter to. But public awareness is important. So it's important for the sustainability of justice and accountability. Mm.